quite close to wrapping up, folks. We are so close to the end of this. It's kind of crazy, right? Yeah, it's insane. I'm not gonna lie. It is a crazy time. But here I am. We are here, and yeah. Welcome to Kane's Twitter franchise mode. Let me tweet out the link real quick. I'm slacking a little bit. And I'm just getting everything tweeted out, and then we'll be ready to go, you know? So much trying to stream tonight. Hey man, if you still want to stream, go ahead. I am not gonna stop you. I figured I'd get it going a little earlier tonight because I'm gonna try and finish up season 2 of Kane's Twitter franchise mode tonight. If I can't, then you know what? I just can't. But I'm gonna do my best to finish things up tonight. So, got everybody. Everybody should be signed. I fired my coach this off season because he wasn't a good fit for my team. Unfortunately, there really weren't many better fits for my team, but I made an improvement, I think. I signed Ryan O'Reilly as my head coach. Other than that, well, you'll see. I'm really trying to win a Stanley Cup these last few seasons. I really want to make this team the best it possibly can be because I'm really trying to win a Stanley Cup. I've won 2, I think, this time around. Maybe 3. I think we won 3. But as you can see, so we have Matthias Eklund, we have Brouwer, and we have Cristiano Pera. This is the newest signing. Former first overall pick of the Boston Bruins. Had been a career Bruin ahead of that point. 90-point player for the past 3 seasons. That's definitely a great addition. Big Sam has gone down a little bit in overall. Does this change anything? Yes, let me do that because that makes my second line a little better. And I need 3 lines rolling here. But so that's the forward core. Defensively, I didn't change anything. And it actually looks like it's a better fit for my first pair, which is something I struggled with last year. That makes it worse, arguably. That makes it really bad. Okay, so we'll do that. So I'd rather not have my third pair in the negatives. So he's still not a great defensive coach, which was another issue that I had, but we're fine. Goaltending, we have Collins and Boehner, and this is probably the best goalie tandem we've had since Chris Miracle and Kurt. So, sketched. Nothing insane, so that's good. I like that. Oh yeah, let's check special teams. I want to see how good our special teams are. Power play is perfect. I love that. Never change power play. Yeah, I like that. All right. AHL team. We have. That's not terrible. I do want Nedved playing up. This is a player that I think could be really good for us. Defense. Okay. Yeah, it's not great. But it's okay. We're cool. We're good. We're good. Cool, 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 cool. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So let's just sim. We're going to try and get this done tonight. We're in the 2037-2038 season. My goodness. So this is going to be, I believe, year 18 of this. Yeah, year 18 of the franchise mode. yeah, we'll send to February 1st and see what's going on with the team. Hope everybody is doing well today, and if you're watching this later on, like in the future, I hope you're having a great day whenever you're watching this. But as for me, I've had a really good day, and I watched Avengers Endgame, and that was 3 hours of my life wasted. Which is a hashtag controversial opinion, but I did not care for that movie. It was too long and just kind of okay. Yeah, it was a long movie, and I just didn't care for it, you know? I've gone to bat for the Avengers movies in the past, and I've enjoyed them, but I just didn't like this one. It was it was too long. The build up at the beginning seemed kind of unnecessary, or like it could have been shortened. Like I didn't see any reason for that movie to be 3 hours long. So, yeah. All right. So, we don't know much about this draft, and at least we know something about the USA East. There's going to be a lot of top picks from the USA East this year. Like, I feel like the first half of the movie could have been condensed into about 10 minutes, maybe like 20. But like for the first hour and a half of a movie, for me to say that about like an hour and hour and 10 minutes of that are irrelevant, that's not good. I'm glad that I did not pay money to see that movie. But what would have been the worst? One of the worst movies I've seen live, though, while we're on the topic of movies, and it's another movie that everybody seemed to love, but I just couldn't get down with it. It's Gravity, which is another, I believe, I forget, was it Scarlett Johansson that was in that movie, or was it somebody else? But either way, that movie was another waste of my time because it made no sense. Like, well, it made sense, but it was just her drifting in space for a while. They blew the budget on the production. Sandra Bullock, thank you. They blew the budget on the production and like the CGI and everything, and they couldn't pay for some decent writing. But that's my movie rant for the day. Can't really talk. I watched the prequels this morning, or some of the prequels this morning for Star Wars. So they're not terrible movies, but by no means are they up to the standards of the other ones. That's another movie that could have been about an hour and a half shorter. And it still would have been like a very cool movie, concept wise. But yeah, it was definitely too long and it didn't keep me engaged. And nobody liked the Avatar The Last Airbender movie either, so, it's the other Avatar movie. That's why I knew you weren't talking about that one. Alright, it seems like the team's doing pretty well, which I'm happy to see. Yeah, we're just moving along, 17-5-1, not too bad. Interstellar I found to be a lot better than like Gravity and movies like that. But again, it could have been shorter. That's kind of my biggest problem is now people are like trying to make movies that are like 2.5 to almost 3 hours long, and I just can't get into the movie. Like if you don't hook me in the first like 10 minutes of the movie, it's gonna suck. Like I'm not gonna enjoy it. So Yeah, still no gems in this draft. I'm a little concerned about that, but they did say it was supposed to be a good draft. At least my scouts did, so I have a little bit of optimism for that. And there we go. We beat the Flyers, and they're a team behind us, so I definitely like to see that. Does seem to be a little laggy, though, which I'm a little worried about. Alright, so let's see. That's just for Charlotte. If you want to Kane's Twitter franchise mode. Rise of Skywalker could have been a bit shorter, but you really liked it. You see, I loved that movie. I thought that if that was a standalone film, it would have been great. And the same thing was like all of those movies, like all of the like the sequel trilogy, all of those movies, if you treat them as individual movies, they would have been great. The problem is that that's not what they were, and they were supposed to tell a story, and the story just never got going, and it changed direction a lot of times. So I would have liked to have seen better like them. I would have liked to see those movies better, but I'm gonna watch them again probably pretty soon, like all the way through. Last Jedi did screw it all up, but if it was a standalone film, it would have been great. Like that's the thing. Like if it was kind of like a Rogue One type thing where it was just like a one-off movie, like they weren't gonna continue anything with that afterwards, I think it would have been a great movie. The problem was it was supposed to be the second movie in a trilogy, and it just undid a lot of things. So I don't like that. I didn't like that. I will say though, I did have to watch The Force Awakens after I saw it in theaters. I took a class trip to Disney World um, in high school, and we got to go see The Force Awakens in theaters. And I made the mistake of not going to the bathroom beforehand, so I had to go during the movie. And I got up during the middle of the movie when they were leaving the first planet on the Millennium Falcon. And I walked down the stairs because it was like, a big theater, and there were levels to it because it's Disney World. And I walk down the stairs, and I open up the door to go to the lobby. Door shuts behind me. I look up. I am outside of the movie theater. And the only way I can get back in is I have my ticket stub with me. So I show them my ticket stub. And they're laughing at me, and they're like, yeah, this happens all the time. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make me feel better. It just makes me feel like I'm an idiot. So then I had to get an escort to the bathroom and then to the movie theater, like to the theater we were in, because they didn't want me to get lost again. I was so embarrassed. But anyways, we have a gem in this draft, and he's a playmaking center, age 18, from... I'm not going to pronounce that. No worries, you just missed an embarrassing story, that's all. Just go back and watch it later. I'm not going to tell it again. I've already humiliated myself enough. But, yeah. Alright, it seems like the team's doing really well. It's January now, so I mean, I kind of hoped that the team would be doing pretty well. 7-5 win to close out the month of January, 35-13-3. I did see we're first in the division as well. Looks like Mr. Para, the player that we signed, is already having a pretty nice season. And yeah, Panda, all you've really missed is that I fired my coach and hired Ryan O'Reilly as my coach. Um, because I want my team to, just like run at things and, just destroy the other teams and insert other Tim Hortons jokes in here as well. But yeah, so that's it. That's my team. In all honesty, though, I am kind of happy for Ryan O'Reilly, because a year after he said that, like, or like a year or two after he said that Buffalo kind of ruined hockey for him and hockey wasn't fun anymore, he goes out and wins a cup. Like, and the fact that a lot of people, or a lot of players have, felt the same way in Buffalo is very concerning. I mean, like, you're getting a lot of players saying that they just hate hockey now. I mean, it happened to what's the Swedish guy's name? I can't think of it. Was it Patrick Berglund? I want to say that that's the player I'm thinking of. Um, but yeah, he said like just straight up said, yeah, hockey isn't fun anymore. I've lost my love for the sport, and the fact that Buffalo kind of drained that out of him is it's crazy. And same with O'Reilly. O'Reilly said that. I think a couple other players have said that too. It's like Buffalo is where like morale and like just like hockey players go to die, and it's it happens on a consistent basis too. I mean, like Jeff Skinner had a great year his rookie or his first season there. And this season he just wasn't good. Probably got burnt out again, just like he did here. And this point, with the Skinner trade, like I don't even care like if none of the players we end up getting from that trade end up working out. The fact that we made it to the playoffs is just huge for me. That makes me happiest. But I mean, we got Kochetkov from that, and whoever we draft with our two, with a 6th round pick and a 3rd round pick this year, whatever that is. Team's doing well. We'll probably hit 50 wins. I'd be surprised if we did not. Yeah, the problem is with Eichel, he locked himself into that long-term contract because he wanted McDavid term and McDavid money, and he's not McDavid. Otherwise, Buffalo would be better. But Eichel needs to request a trade in the next couple of years, but he won't. I did think the same about McDavid too, but it really seems like he and Draisaitl are just going to carry the Oilers to the playoffs every year. So, I don't know. K to the Arl traded to New Jersey. That's a minor trade. That was a prospect or a created player. Eichel can come to Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay. All right. 7-2 win against the Islanders. There we go. Chad Brower is out with a wrist sprain. I believe he's my 2C. Shutout loss, but then we beat the Red Wings, which is good. Muckalt, forget what line he's on. Still won. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that this team will finish first in the division. We have a whole 14 points ahead of everybody else. Yeah, I mean, I always hate looking at the 2012 draft. I think it's 2012. Might be 2011, where we drafted Gregory Hoffman, and the very next pick, Calgary selects Johnny Gaudreau. And you're obviously not going to know that Gaudreau is going to be a future, like 70-point guy at the time of the draft, but in hindsight, it really hurts. But then the next year we get Slavin, who, is the best defenseman in the league, or at least one of them. The draft after that, you get Lindholm and Pesce, and the 2013 draft is considered the worst draft of the past decade. So, you know, the fact that we got Lindholm and Pesce in the same draft that was considered a terrible draft is really good. So, San Jose fires their coach, which is pretty crazy actually. We've won the division, but it doesn't look like we've won the conference, and I'm okay with that. But regardless, first period, Columbus gets out to a 3-0 lead. Canes come back to tie it. Brouwer with 2 and Para with 1. What the heck? It's early. We'll sim overtime. Why not? I hate when we play the teams whose color on the back of the goals is also red, because when it sims, I don't have an idea of which team scored. So it's like I just see the red team scored and I automatically thought well, we got a goal but we lost. I guess it makes my reaction a little more authentic. But so we have Brouwer on the face-off, and he's got jet black gloves on. I love it when players have that. It's so cool. Brouwer with the the jet black gloves. Yzerman shoots, easy save by the Russian goaltender. I should plug in my laptop. It's getting a little low. And after this tonight, if we finish early enough, I'm going to also be playing some Minecraft with friends, just because why not? So if you guys would like to watch that as well, I might stream it, since my Wi-Fi can handle me being in a... Also, top 10 in goals. I don't know if you saw, Panda. I don't know if you're actually watching this right now, but you are second in the league in goals this year with 54. Oh, what a play! And oh man, Canes are getting the majority of the chances here. But yeah, I don't know if you guys watch Minecraft or play it, but it's fun, and it's more fun when I'm with friends, which is why I'm doing this, Delayed penalty coming up on the Blue Jackets. Para with the puck to Brouwer. Para shoots, blocked by his own man, and the Canes are going on the power play with 1:54 left. It's fun with friends. I really like it, but that all depends on how late my friend is up. It was just a small trip in the offensive zone, so an offensive zone penalty. Need a tissue? I hate these signs, man. They're so annoying. Nobody wears does that. Alright, so it's a 4-on-3 for the Hurricanes. Less room to skate, but this is a man advantage for the Canes. Oh, nifty move by Jocelyn, but it doesn't really do anything for him. Oh man. Top 10 in hits. Lindbergh, Panda, you won the hit award, whatever that is, this season. So everybody is 36 at the time of the sim. Shot, broken stick. And instead of taking it up the ice, he's just going to clear it. Interesting move. Board battle. You guys are on the power play. Jocelyn up to Vinanen. Vinanen's going to carry it in himself. He's a defenseman, I believe. To Jocelyn. Oh, what a move to get around the defenseman. Jocelyn scores! And I couldn't see who that was, but that's a good way to end the season. An overtime win at home against the division rival. And we're going to transition into the playoffs now. So we were, 51, 26 and 5. With 107 points. We clinched the division, but not the President's Trophy. Vegas won the West. And the Sabres will be winning the President's Trophy, Trevor. So, in what could very well be your last season with the team, the Sabres won the President's Trophy and might be able to make those Stanley Cup dreams come true. Panda, it's going to be your team versus the Preds, and it's going to be Buffalo versus Penguins. And just to show you all, 102 points. Yzerman with 87. That's a Hall of Fame career. Doubt it. Hey man, you never know. Big Sam with a nice season, and this could be his last season as a Hurricane and just period in the league. But good way to go out, hitting 1,300 points. Former ninth overall pick of the Carolina Hurricanes, Optimistic King, another career Hurricane. Finished his season with 59 points. Yeah, no milestones for him this season. Tommy Watson, not a career Hurricane. You've bounced around a little bit, I think. No, you were a career Ranger before coming to Carolina, where you have spent 6 seasons and had 50 points in 50 plus points in all of them. But 53 points in a very solid NHL career. No milestones for this player either. And Evan Stancil, 45 points. Andrei Svechnikov at age 38 had over 50 points. 52 points for Svech, which is really cool to see. The second overall pick in 2018. Evan with 45 points. Any milestones there? He hit 600 assists this season. So, aging core just a bit, but I just want to see my rookie skaters. I didn't really have any rookies play this season. Okay. Buffalo Sabres. Trevor, 52 goals at age 36, 90 points. Hitting 700 career assists. You're very close to the 1,400 mark. You're still 86 overall. The fact that you have a year left on your contract may mean that you'll retire this year, but sometimes players sign. Panda, 101 points. 3 straight 100-point seasons, 36, 35, and 34. You were. So there is a little bit of regression going from 109 to 102 to 101. But that's crazy. Hitting over 800 NHL goals this year, too. So, good stuff from every created player. And game one of the first round, Canes versus Bruins. I have not played the Boston Bruins in a while. I don't think... Have we played the Bruins in this sim? We might not have. But either way, they score 3 times. Regier, Danielson, and Bonvie scoring first. Second period, nothing. Third period, the Canes attempt to come back with Eklund and Svechnikov scoring, but unfortunately, nothing doing. I do see that Boston has Gilson, so Gilson gets that revenge win against his team. We have... Okay, I couldn't remember. You all have better memories than me. Either way, Canes are going to look to bounce back in game two. First period, Eklund gets another goal. Brillin scores for the Bruins. Second period, still tied. Bonvie gets a goal, and Pera gets a goal on his former team, getting that revenge goal. Third period, Canes win. Big Sam with a big goal. Canes tie the series 1-1 and force a game 5, so we will be getting a game 5 in Raleigh. So that's cool. Game 3, first period, Canes versus Bruins, nothing doing. Boston holds a slight edge in shots. Third period, Canes get the first goal, though, thanks to Brouwer. And the third period, it's a 1-0 shutout for Mr. Collins there. Making 22... Or no, Boehner gets the win, actually. That's surprising, getting 22 saves in the win. Perhaps he's taken over as the starter. Let me look. Because if so, that's really interesting. He has not. He was just in for that game. Okay. Cool. Well, congrats to my man. Game 4? AHL season is over. Is Charlotte a playoff team? They are. Oh. And their playoffs started with a loss to Hershey. So, cool. I'm happy with that. Game 4. Canes with a 2-1 series lead. First period, again, nothing doing. Still pretty even in terms of shots. Canes get the first goal. Big Sam with that goal. And then the third period, Webb ties it, but Para wins the game for his team. With 4 minutes and 33 seconds left, Canes take a 3-1 series lead. Alright, we're going to sim to the next game. It's a pretty low-scoring series, actually. Which, that's nice. I'd prefer that over a, high-scoring affair. But Capo Caco, still playing in the league, gets a goal against the Hurricanes in the first period. That's his first of the series. Second period, Eklund gets another goal. I believe that's his third. And Bonvie scores for the Bruins. Third period, Canes can win the series. If they win, they tie it. Eklund scores with 59 seconds left to send the game to overtime. And folks, we're going to go live from Raleigh for overtime. Alright. So, just keeping an eye on Twitter. I was really hoping that the AHL would find a way to continue, but it's unfortunate that they had to cancel their season. It does make sense, though. But it still kind of sucks. I like hearing about the AHL going on. But Para with the puck gives it to Adams, even though he had a lane, and the pass has broken up. Alright, Eklund with the puck to Brouwer. Brouwer gets the puck and enters it into the zone. Gives it to Para. Para with the shot, misses the net. Brouwer with the puck. Backhand shot. Oh, what a stop by the goalie. That's Gilson, the former Carolina Hurricane. Gives it to Dean. Dean shoots, hits the post. Dean on the wraparound shot. Save. And Para comes up with the puck. He's going to enter into the offensive zone. Dishes it to Eklund. Eklund back to Para. To Yzerman. Shoot. Save. Eklund shot. Backhand. And a save again. Big Sam with the puck now. Big Sam. Blocked pass. Tarasov with it to Caco. Capo Caco with the puck. At the circles, shot. Scores! Boston wins and forces game 6. Pretty quick overtime, but it was a fun one. Canes had a few chances. Obviously, really both teams had some good chances in that overtime. So it was entertaining. Unfortunately, it wasn't the optimal result, but the Canes, still hold a series lead and could win the series against Boston tonight in Game 6. First period, Boston gets 3 goals in the first period. Webb, Caco, and R. Ovechkin score. 5-0, Bonvie and Iginla score, and it's a 6-0 shutout for Gilson. Bad night for Collins, man. But that's not the way you want to go into a Game 7. You'd rather have it be a close one than a blowout, but it's all on Game 7 for the Canes. First period, Boston gets out to another early lead, and that's not good. Second period, no score. Canes haven't scored in a while. Third period, Canes' season is over. Optimistic Caniac scores, and that is it. Offense couldn't get it going in that series. That was tough. But Charlotte moves on to the second round. I don't really care. I'm sorry. There aren't any prospects that I care about anymore, So we have lost. The season ended in a way that I wasn't expecting, unfortunately. There's no point in getting my scouts to waste energy on a second overall pick. I just realized that. Still only the one gem in the draft, and we still don't know too much about him, unfortunately, but we're still kind of kicking it. If you have any suggestions for what you would like the team to do for next year, just let me know. Vancouver wins the Cup, and Providence wins the Calder Cup. St. Louis and Arizona jump up to win the lottery. Columbus moves from 4th to 3rd, so it's not as big of a jump. Trade for you. Well, you only had 1 year left on your contract, so you might be good. Okay, so sorry about that. Either way, we have one gem still. This is July, or June, so that's it. You only had a year remaining on your contract, so you might go to free agency. Leon Draisaitl retiring with 1778 points. Obviously a Hall of Fame career. Sebastian Aho finishing his career in Dallas at age 40 with 1737 points. Obviously a Hall of Famer as well. Svech finishing up a Hall of Fame career with 1477 points. So unfortunately, Svechnikov did retire, and a bit of a disappointing end to his career. Jacob Narbe, a created player, 1291 points, might be a Hall of Fame worthy career. Either way, just a really good career for him. Let's check out his career stats and where he came from. Finished up his career in Minnesota with 57 points. Started in Washington and ended up playing 3 more years in the NHL after being traded to Minnesota. We did have another player up here, Trey Cash. This was another created player. I believe might have spent his entire career with Philly. No, started in Florida for a year, was sent back to juniors for whatever reason. Stayed in Florida and then went to Philly where he spent the majority of his career. Michael Gaudreau, this was a former Kane just for a brief period. Actually, no, not that brief. He spent quite some time here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seasons with the Canes. Spent his final 2 years in Detroit. Started in Vegas, and that was it. So, solid career from the defenseman. 744 points in 1461 games. K to the Arl. I just put Carl because the game was weird about that. But 727 points in 1348 games. A solid career. Played on some disappointing teams, unfortunately, but played a long time for the Jets. And then finally 2 seasons with Edmonton, and was traded to New Jersey this year, but did not play for New Jersey or their affiliate. I wish I could see which player, like if in the next NHL game, I want to see like how many Stanley Cups or like how many awards a player received. I think that would be a really good addition to the games. But Matt Chatelain, another created player, 358 points over the course of your NHL career. Spent with, at the start, Detroit, then you spent some time in Chicago, and then 1 year in Florida to wrap up your NHL career. Just want to be sure that that is it, and that is it. We'll go to goaltenders now. Kurt Cusack retiring. Obviously won us, I think, 1 cup, and Chris Miracle as well. So a former Hurricane goalie tandem retires this year, and there are only 2 goalies to retire. Kurt spent after being traded to New York, he actually spent the rest of his career with New York, but saw limited starts in that amount of time. Really in the past 2 years. He saw limited starts as a backup, but won some cups with may not have won a cup with Carolina, actually. He spent 4 seasons here, so I don't remember if we won a cup in that. I don't think we did. So he started his career in Nashville, though. And then Chris Miracle obviously was a Hurricanes draft pick, 40th overall, won some cups with Carolina, started his career there, and played a season in Colorado after being traded, went to Washington for a year, spent some time at Hershey, and then actually rejuvenated his career as a starting goaltender in San Jose for 2 years, and then finished out his career as a backup for San Jose with 2 years, and then 1 year in Pittsburgh. So those are our retired players this year. Panda and Trevor, you guys are all still in the system. One of my OHL scouts retired. Well, let's make him proud. But so that is it. A lot of players retired this year. Still waiting on quite a few players, but Either way, pick 25. And looks like I can still find some value here in this draft, which is encouraging. Although, that does not appear to be the case anymore. Actually, no, I can. I can grab Yuri Shirokov. Scott Hartnell comparisons. Obviously a little weaker of a prospect compared to some of them, but he is a top 6 forward, so I am going to pick him up. Yeah, top 6D I would have preferred. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a great pick. I would have liked this Frazier player, but I'm happy with getting the top 6 forward potential guy. Pick 56 now. I'm still hoping to get something in this draft that's worth it. Seems like I could pick a goalie here, and my scouts really like this guy, so we're going to go with it. Medium elite goaltender prospect. So, good stuff. This is pick 87 now. I did already pick a goalie, and there's 3 right here. This guy was listed as a gem, Quinton Dimitriakos, and I'm going to pick him up. Why not? Get an extra center prospect here. That seems to be better than what I could do. 118th overall pick now. Just hoping for something of value. Doesn't necessarily have to be one specific trait. Preferably, like, I like this. I'll probably pick that player up. I just want to see, just take a look and see, you know, what else there is. I see a couple low top 4D, a couple top 6 forwards as well. So there's some talent to be had in this draft, and I'm going to pick up Rene Gaucher with this pick. Low top 6 forward. That's an excellent pick in the 4th round. Pick 149. Oh, yeah, again, I think I'm just going to be going for whatever here. Whatever happens to be closest. So I see 2 low top 6 forwards, 197 and 211. There's a exact low top 4D. Like, that's what I'm guaranteed. But we're going to pick off the board and grab Bryson Foss, a left winger. Low top 9 forward. That's unfortunate. Thought he was going to be a little better than that. Okay, so again, we'll go for the defenseman now because I have yet to pick a defenseman, and he's a guaranteed thing. Bobkov, I like that. So we'll grab that. Pick 211 now. I could pick up Connor, and I might. Gordon Lindros sucks. That's right. He was a player that we also scouted last year, and he was terrible. So Connor by no means is a guaranteed thing, and he kind of sucks too. So let's see if Marty King is decent. The medium elite potential could be good. Medium bottom 6. Okay. So pretty okay draft, and I'm happy with moving on. So obviously I have to make one scouting change, and I think an AHL change as well. I have to grab an assistant coach, which is nice. It's nice to not have to grab a goalie coach for once. And I know I have to hire an OHL scout. But Ryan Suter, welcome to the team again. Just congratulations on staying on the scouting staff. There really weren't a whole... I feel like I could do better in Russia. Yeah, I feel like I could. The Metro I can't really do better in. And in Europe you can't really do better either. And this extra league Liga scout is the last guy. Okay. So I got scouting. We're going to go to contracts now. Obviously, we have some big decisions to make. Tommy Watson doesn't want another contract, and I think I'm going to let him go to free agency. Same with Jocelyn, and Muckalt's a possibility to keep, but I'll release him for now. Nedved. This is a prospect that I definitely want to keep around. This guy I'm okay with letting go of. Left wingers now. Optimistic Caniac wants to stick around. Career Hurricane. It's his last year with the team. I'm probably going to play somebody over him, though. Powell. No. Okay. We'll keep this guy around. Unfortunately, he hasn't developed. And we'll let go of this player, but keep Kong. Or Tutin, excuse me. And I'll sign Kuta. For sure. That's a really... Petri Kuta. 20 years old, 73 overall. 5th round pick, that's perfect. And Matthew Ulat, he was a 1st round pick of mine, and I'm unfortunately not going to sign this Datsuk player. Normally I would, but I don't have space for him. Evan Stansel still could carry some value. He wants 2 years, though. I'm going to let go of him. Making some changes, everybody. Going with a little bit of a younger team this year. And defense, yeah. I'm gonna be making quite a bit of changes because I need to. Medium elite defenseman. When did I pick this guy? 3rd round? He is 21 and only 70 overall, but here's hoping he can grow into a decent defensive prospect. I mean, yeah, I want to keep this goalie tandem. Let's just check what the goalie situation looks like down in Charlotte. I have one guy who's actually worse than these 2 goalies, so that's fine. Okay. He did not want to sign, so I'm going to make him sign. And I actually do have a lot of not cap space, but a lot of needs for my team next year because we did have a lot of regression. I think that's what hurt us the most in the playoffs, is the fact that the whole team kind of regressed. Alright. This will just be scouting and then players, so I'll actually need to see what's going on. Easy decisions. Okay, so everybody has re-signed. One thing I did not check that I should is my unsigned prospects. I don't have anybody that great that can sign. I like Maximus Swanson. He was a 1st round pick. I like that he's, developing well at 67 overall, but there's no point in me signing a contract for him. Or there's no point in him signing yet. I don't love that he's the only, great player from that draft that I see so far, but we did have a very good class of prospects just come in, so I'm happy about that. Okay. Coaching staff. Gotta make some changes, and Trevor, I will see if you hit free agency. That would make it a lot easier to sign you. Or to trade for you. Because I would just sign you. Hopefully that's the case. Okay, not a lot of good teaching. This guy seems to be the best coach and with the best teaching, so we'll sign him. Scouting. I need to make 2 changes. I need to sign an OHL scout and a Russian scout. Excuse me. Throat's a little dry. Okay, I can't do very well in the OHL. That's a little unfortunate. And in Russia, I keep bringing this person back. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Either way, it's fine. Let's check and see if Buffalo re-signed you before I do anything. You're on the trade block for Buffalo. 86 overall, exact top 6 forward. Your value has gone way down, but you're on a 2-year deal. Do I actually need left wingers? I do. Alright, we're gonna make this happen. Welcome, Trevor, to the Carolina Hurricanes. Panda, you are still on the Stars, and you have 2 years remaining on your contract as well. Trevor, don't let me down. If you do, I will be quite disappointed in you. 1, 2, 3. I could use another center, maybe a number 1 center, if there are any. If not, a good 3C. Actually, I should get a top 6 center because Big Sam is going to regress to like an 83 this season. 1, 2. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I still need 2 left wingers and 1 center. Could you write this in the chat for me? So I need 1 center, 2 left wingers, 2 bottom 6 left wingers, 3 right wingers, and let's go with at least 1 defenseman, maybe 2. So 1C, 2 bottom 6 left wingers, 3 right wing, and 2 deep. Got it. Don't need a goaltender. I'm good. Alright. We'll sign free agents. Let's see. So I need a center. And I need a pretty good one. There's a couple good ones available. This guy's a 2-point upgrade. He only fits on forward line 3. What about Fairchild? None. Okay. Lorenz, please fit on somewhere. Top 6 forward lines. Perfect. Ooh, he wants 7 years. Hell no. Let's give you 4, my friend. Alright. So, Lorenz. Welcome to the team. I needed 3 right wingers of any kind other than franchise, because I have one. Grossman. Feel like I would sign Owen normally, but I can't. He's too good for the team, and he's gonna. How many years does he want? He only wants 1, but he's too good to be on the second line. I'm worried about that. So here is 1 right winger. Well, you know what? If he only wants a year, I'll give him a year. So that's 2 right wingers, and then I needed a third, and we'll get like a right, like I have prospects that can fill that. We'll bring back Hämäläinen. He's consistently been pretty okay for us. So I got one of my left wingers, and I needed like a third line left winger, so we'll get Bernier here again. Oh, is he an RFA? He is an RFA, so that's a no. Lapointe. No, I want something a little better. Jacobs, you're perfect. Because if Trevor regresses, if you regress, then we'll need somebody to kick it into gear. And then I need a defenseman, right? I already have a really good D, all penalty killing lines and D pairing 1. That's the best defensive fit I've ever seen for any of my coaches, at least in a long time. Thorburn, defensive pairing 1 and all penalty killing lines. De Salvatore, defensive pairing 1 and all penalty killing lines. Okay. Sokolov, defensive pairing 1. Seems like everybody fits. Let's see. If I offer sheet this guy defensive pairing 2, and he'd be a second pairing defenseman on my team. Let's offer money. How much would I have to give up? First and third round picks. I'm fine with that. I don't care about the draft too much, but just in case, let me bring back Ponikarovsky for 2 years, just in case that, or for a year, just in case that falls through. Prospects. definitely going to sign this guy. Low top 4D, 19 years old. Pretty okay overall. I think I'm good other than that, to be honest. Alright, we'll advance day. Let's see what's going on. That trade doesn't involve any players of ours. Or any created players. AHL assistant coach is good. Again, no created players. Scout accepted. Scout accepted. And I got the prospect. Hamalainen has accepted, as has Ponikarovsky. I got one right winger. I got a center. I got the left winger. Got my right winger. And I got my defenseman. For now. Let's see if Washington... They've chosen not to match, so... I'll give up a first and a third in next year's draft. I think that works out. So I got rid of some created players this year, and then I added a few others. So it's very good. Can't add too many created players though. Here's all the players accepting their qualifying offers. Meg, created player, traded to Detroit. So Meg might be spending her career in Detroit. Yeah, it's just players accepting qualifying offers. Alright, seems like we're okay. I'm good. I'm pretty much done. I think the additions that I made to my team, I got younger, and that's what I wanted to do. Just so I could avoid as much regression as possible. Because I think that was the problem, but I could be wrong. Still getting a lot of trade offers. Brant Clark traded again, man. Brant Clark, when he retires, if I find him on the list, remind me to go check and see how many teams he's played for, because my man has been traded so much. Okay. We're going to edit the lines. We're going to see. So it's Eklund. No. I brought Mr. Lorentz in to be the first line center. And then... Okay, so Trevor, you are on the third line, unfortunately, but I think that's better because if you regress, I had say like an 83, 84-ish, which it's likely this season. I'd rather have you on the third line where the impact is a little less significant, but that's okay. I like that. Let me just make sure that we don't have any scratches that are important. All right, we're good in there. Defense. Oh my. Okay, I like that. We'll leave it at that. Because that's actually not going to make anything worse. Wow. Okay. Goaltending is still the same. Scratches. There are my 2 scratches. No lines. None. Okay. Offense. We'll just check Charlotte briefly. make sure everything's cool, everything seems to be hunky-dory here. I'd rather have Nedved getting playing time, but I know, yeah, I can't really be hoping too hard for that to happen. Macaulay, no. Bouchard, no. Trying to look for prospect. Was it this guy? No, it wasn't. This guy I'm glad is getting playing time. No, I'd rather keep it at that. Okay. And then defense, we're just going to leave as is, I think. So it doesn't look like that can get any better. Okay. Done. Other than that, we'll just sim to February 1st. See what's going on. Alright. Nope. Gonna say no to that trade. Seems like the preseason's going well. I'm really trying to get people a Stanley Cup, you know? Obviously, I know Owen has won Stanley Cups, good veteran presence for the team. Trevor, I'm trying to help you out and get you to win a Stanley Cup in your first season with the Canes, and your first ever Stanley Cup, really. If we can get you a Stanley Cup, that'd be awesome, but I can't obviously make any promises, but seems like you have a better chance doing it here than you would in Buffalo. Especially since they put you on the block, man. Why did they do that? Alright, big 8-0 loss to the Coyotes, my goodness, but two big wins. Also, other than the Canes, if there was a team to win the Stanley Cup this season, who would it be? Like in the sim, which team are you predicting would win the cup? I am going to say that it is going to be. You know what? Arizona beat us pretty bad, which almost makes me want to say Arizona. But I think Vancouver's going to repeat as champs. That's my prediction. In the draft, we don't really know anything yet. Okay. Yeah, that was not worth looking at. Just watch the Sabres win it. I would feel so bad, but I would also laugh. I had to find it pretty funny. The Canes Sabres Eastern Conference Final. The Sabres reverse sweep the Canes, so we win the first three, and then they win the next four, and then they go on to win win the Stanley Cup. Like, that would be heartbreaking. I would throw my controller. I would be so mad. 7-3-1, pretty great start to October. Um, yeah, pretty great start to October. I'd say 8-3-1. Then we finish up the month with our revenge game against Arizona, and we win. So 9-3-1 after the first month of the season. Jay Adams, my first pairing defenseman, is out with a strained hamstring, which is a tough injury, but he's only out for a little while. And we lose. Charlotte seems to have had quite a few injuries this year. Adams is back. Yeah, I want that. Let me do best lines first, and then let me do this. Yes, that's what I want. That is what the team was doing best at. Out of curiosity, oops. You have 10 points. I'm actually going to switch you and Jacobs real quick. I want that second line to be doing better, and Jacobs doesn't seem to be pulling his weight. Neither did Owen, so we'll see if that works. Versus Vegas, 4-3 loss. Okay. Three shootout win, though. So we did lose our season series against Vegas, but I'll take the win. The next name. Henrik Grossman out with an injured knee. I'm going to have to keep editing the lines because they keep wanting to put our actual first line player. Okay. So we'll do that. I'm sorry, Trevor, but I'll do that instead. That'll work. Bit of a weaker draft. Ooh. Not that I really care, but that makes me glad that I gave up my first and third round pick then. And Grossman's back again. I want Lawrence on the... You know what? Fine. That third line is going to be the best damn third line in the league. It's a +3. I might as well leave it like that. We're losing more games than I want us to. I don't like it. I'm a little wary. But it seems like we're doing okay. I may, after this season, I'm going to take a little break and go downstairs real quick. I have to do something, but I'm gonna leave the stream on. I'll just be away from the thing, the controller for a little bit. So I may sim up to February 1st and then take like a 5-minute break. So if you want to just leave this up and then when you hear my voice again, continue watching, if that's cool. Because I have to do something real quick. Yeah, we're still losing too many games. I don't like it. We're second in the division, which is good. But I really need to see some more wins. And the Flyers are just running away with the league. Charlotte has another injury. Man, they've been bad this season with injuries. New Jersey firing their coach yet again. We'll view the draft class just to kind of see what's up. Yeah, seems to be that we still don't know anything. Still nothing about the draft as a whole. But I'm liking that we're winning more games now. We're slowly but surely climbing our way up the ladder, and with every win I get a little bit happier and more secure in the fact that we're only in the playoffs by 3 points. Yikes. Let's beat the Flames. We beat the Flames. Okay. That was a much needed win. Charlotte gets a player back, which is pretty good actually. Jay Adams out till February 7th, so we lose our first pairing defenseman. Or a first pairing defenseman. Luckily, defense is still okay. But that is definitely a bummer. Alright. We beat the Rangers? Okay. Can we beat the Caps too? We did not, but we lost in overtime, so we at least got a point. Gotta beat the Sabres. Come on. We need to beat the Sabres. It's Buffalo. We did. Yay! Okay, I feel a little better. It's still early in the season, and a little too early, actually, for me to panic. But I'm not sure what the issue is with the team. My god. Okay, so that Aldrich Nedved guy. Oh, we're out of the playoffs. Oh no. Okay, there's a win. Okay, we needed that. We're still. And that was a team ahead of us. Okay. Okay. Alright, we're winning games again. Okay. So it really seems like, in order for this to work, we cannot lose games. Uh, there's some big wins. Okay. So we have to beat the Penguins, Islanders, and Rangers. Those are the teams behind us. Beating Philly would be cool, but not matter all that much. We beat Philly. That's cool. Um, we have to beat the Penguins and Islanders. Those are the two teams that are closest behind us. All right, that's a loss to the Avs. I'm a little nervous about that, but whatever. But a win against the Panthers, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, and then Toronto. We beat Toronto in overtime. Okay. That's the All-Star break. We should be second in the division. It like flashed on the screen, but I couldn't see it. Oh well. Central Scouting rankings. We know a little bit more about the draft now, which I like, but again, we don't have a first round pick. But this guy's projected to go in the middle of the second round, left winger. If he is a medium elite, I'm trading up for that pick, like in a heartbeat. That would be a fantastic pick. Okay. A loss, but then a win. Okay, we're still treading water a little bit. Like we're in the playoffs, we're in a playoff spot, but I'm still very nervous. There's a win, okay. Alright, we're 8 points ahead of the Penguins. The Islanders have pushed their way into a wild card spot, and they traded away a player. I like it. 30-17 and 4 at the deadline. Okay. I'm going to take care of this real quick. I'll be right back. About 5-ish minutes. Thank you for your patience. I'm back. There was chocolate or ice cream cake waiting downstairs for me that I had to finish. So I had to sacrifice my time for ice cream cake. So, you know, not too bad. But we're back. We're simming through things now. And Buffalo is adding at the deadline. Okay. We'll keep it like this. And I'm good. Where's your cake? Unfortunately, this was for Mother's Day, so there is no more. Intern Matty traded to Tampa Bay from the Islanders. I believe he's been a career Islander up until this point. Alright, so we're winning games now. Seems like with more regularity, which is always good. You know, we have to beat the Penguins and the Islanders. We don't play the Islanders for a little while, but we do have 2 upcoming games against the Penguins. But I like this win streak. I like seeing what's going on here. Hopefully we can keep it up, you know? 35-17-4. Gotta get 2 big wins against Ottawa here. They're terrible, man. Bad trade. We get 1 win, 7-2. In the next game, it's a shootout loss, so we get 3 out of a potential 4 points. So not too bad. Grossman out with a fractured jaw until the 9th. That'll mess up my lines a little bit, but not too much actually. So there we go. Big win against the Sabres. Huge, even. What if the only thing holding Buffalo back was you, Trevor? What if they win the Cup this year? Tuna traded from Montreal to Detroit. He used to watch the stream quite often, but I think he's been busy with work now. I think that's why he's been only able to catch like 1 or 2. Liking what's happening though. I really am. I like this a lot. I'd laugh too, but I would also feel kind of bad. You know? But it seems like the Canes are in a good spot. Oh yeah, we're way ahead of the Penguins now. So I'm not too worried about that anymore. Alright. Here we go. 42 wins. Yeah, I mean, we've had a phenomenal turnaround. Easton Gilbert. That's a fantastic name. And we're winning all over the place now. Look at us. Flyers have clinched a playoff spot already. I don't think we'll catch up to Philly. I mean, we'd have to win out, and they would have to lose. 9 wins? I didn't see that. I didn't see that they were that bad. My God. That must just be a bad GM. Medium top 6 forward, I like that. I may trade up and get this guy in the draft, because we're not going to be picking around there. But back-to-back shutouts. And then there's another one. 3 shutouts in our last 4 games. Detroit's also having a really good year. Big Sam out with an injured knee. That's not good. I would imagine that he was having a good year. We'll check everybody's stats. We're so close to the end, so we'll check it in a while. Oh, he's already back. It's kind of frustrating. Alright. So, huge season for the Canes. We're actually really close to being ahead of the Flyers, which would be huge for us. So if we win this game, we will be first in the division. If we lose in overtime, I think we're done. Amir Lorentz, 1 point away from hitting 100 on the season. That was a great signing for the Canes. First period, 2 goals, Piper and Eklund. Second period, Para scores. Third period, Big Sam scores to win the game. The Hurricanes are your Metropolitan Division champions. And Eastern Conference champions. And the President's Trophy winners as well. That was a huge game. That was a huge game for the Canes, who, when we needed it most, we won the President's Trophy. The Devils decidedly did not. Buffalo made it to the playoffs, and Dallas did as well. We'll check stats, and this could be some people's final regular season game. So Big Sam with 85 points. That's a huge game, or huge season. Obviously hit over 1,400 points this season, over 800 assists, and hit his 600th goal as well. Huge season for Big Sam. Yzerman obviously had a great year. Trevor, 65 points. You know, it's not as good as it has been in the past, but 65 points is very solid. You also hit 1,400 points this season. Owen Anderson, 49 points. Obviously had a really solid career. Hit 1,500 points this season as well, and is only 2 goals away from 800. I'm not sure if I have any other creative players. It doesn't look like I do. So, a solid season. I had some rookies play. Nothing that amazing. Goalies have been fantastic for my team. I realize why the goalie stats are so bad. It's because I turned up scoring in the Sims. Oh shoot. Panda, I'll check his stats even though he's not here. Just in case he comes back and watches this, because he sometimes does. 102 points again, my god. At age 37. The ageless wonder. Alright, playoffs. Canes versus Penguins in the first round. And here we go. Game 1. Canes get off to a 3-goal lead. Trevor with 2 goals, and Ponikarovsky with the other goal. Second period, nothing doing, and then the third period, Canes shut out the Pittsburgh Penguins. Brouwer gets the other 2 goals for the Canes. Chad Brouwer. What an awful name. Second period, or game 2, excuse me. Canes get a goal. Owen Anderson scoring his first goal of the playoffs. Jacobs scoring, and Eklund as well. Both of those players, I believe, get their first goals of the playoffs, and the Canes win 3-1. Pretty easy series for the Canes so far. It also seems to be pretty balanced in terms of scoring, up and down the lineup, which I like. Haven't seen much from the third or the fourth line yet, but that's okay. Game 3, first period, Canes get another goal from Trevor here. Third period, Big Sam with 2 goals from the circle. And the third period, Grossman scores, and the Canes have held the Penguins to 1 goal through the first 2 games this series. Let me say that again. 1 goal through the first 3 games this series. Charlotte is a playoff team despite all those injuries. Man. First period. Big Sam with a big goal. Third period, it's a tie game. Trevor scoring. Evan getting the revenge goal against the Canes, and Lackinen scoring for the Penguins. Canes win. Yzerman with the series winner. They sweep the Penguins, only allowing 3 goals. The goaltenders were obviously the story of that series. And we'll check in a minute. You have to sim a little while, but we'll see if it's true, if Buffalo will win the Cup this year. They will not. So Trevor, you are safe. Buffalo did not make it to the second round. Just as they usually do. And Dallas is out as well. So Panda's Stanley Cup hopes are unfortunately... they ended prematurely is what I was going to say. Canes versus Flyers. This is the battle of the top 2 teams in the East. Lorentz, Pera, and Brouwer scoring. Bodie gets the goal for the Flyers. Second period, no score. In the third period, Canes win. Jacobs, Big Sam, and Brouwer score. The Canes just smacking the Flyers in game 1. It's a battle of 2 titans in the East. We play the Flyers a lot. And I think I said this before, but we have about a 50% success rate against the Flyers, so this series is a toss-up. But the Canes, Jacobs, Del Zotto with his first, Adams with his first, and Lorentz scoring in the first period. Yzerman gets a goal. Third period, the Canes get a goal from Eklund and Pera. Once again, the Canes just smacking up on the Flyers here. Trevor leading the team in points these playoffs with 10 points in his first 6 games. Game 3, we're heading into Philly. Philly obviously looking for a win here after surrendering the first 2 games, and they get some help with Dryden and Mikanov scoring. Canes get a goal in the second period from Brouwer, who is doing really well these playoffs. In the third period, Flyers win. Kabanov and Tan score. Still a point for Trevor in that game. Game 4 in Philly. Canes with a 2-1 series lead. The Lightning beating up on the Bruins 3-0. First period again, Tan and Powell scoring for the Flyers. Grossman and Will Looper with 2 goals. In third period, yeah, it's a tough game for the Canes. So teams just traded the wins basically. We're heading back to Raleigh. The home team has won every game in this series. So let's see if that happens in this game too. Canes get out to an early lead with Brouwer scoring. Second period, Trevor getting a goal as well. Dryden scoring for the Flyers. And the third period, Canes win. Eklund and Pera scoring. It is imperative that the Canes win on the road here because I don't want to go to a game 7. Every other series is over. It's going to be Sharks and Jets, and it's going to be Lightning versus whoever. It's going to be Lightning versus the winner of this series. First period tie game. Jacobs and Mikanov scoring just a few seconds apart. Second period, Philly takes a lead. Looper and Sillinger scoring. And third period, Flyers win. Mikanov and Threlfall scoring. Haven't seen his name yet this series. It's all come down to this. Canes and Flyers. Game 7. Trying to get Trevor his Stanley Cup dream. First period. Canes out to an early lead. Bodie scores first, but Big Sam ties it. Piper takes the lead, and Michael scores. Kabanov makes it a 3-2 game. Second period, there is no score. We're going to slow sim this, see what happens, see if the Canes can hold on to this 3-2 lead. They can't. Powell scores for the Flyers. Tie game. 10 minutes left. Bellino scores to give the Flyers a lead. Come on, Canes. Come on, Canes. We need it. Need it. No, I can't. Canes lose. I was going to pause and play so I could get Trevor his win, but for the integrity of this sim, I cannot. I'm sorry. But the Flyers have advanced. And the Canes are no longer the top Stanley Cup candidate. 2 gems back to back, both right wingers, both European. Okay, something to keep an eye on. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You do still have a year remaining on your contract, so I'll just try and make the team better next season. Tampa won the cup. They just kind of dominated these playoffs, it feels like. Providence won another Calder. And yeah. We'll do the draft class. I obviously don't have a first round pick. I'll still chew gems in the second round. And we'll view the retired players, see which creative players called it quits this year. Panda calling it quits after this season. 1524 points in 1550 games, all of which were for the Dallas Stars. JT Shepard, one of our franchise players, calling it a career as well. Spent his entire career with the Kings, won at least 5 or 6 Selkies, 1511 points in 1538 games. Trevor, I'm sorry, but your career is over. The top 4 players on this list will all make the Hall of Fame, which is crazy. Trevor, 1457 points in 1534 games. Very good career, 700 goals and assists. Big Sam with a great career as well, just 5 less points in 2 more games. So again, a very good career. Corey will probably make the Hall of Fame as a defenseman with over 1,100 points as a defenseman. That's a crazy good career. He was another franchise player in this sim. Former Kane Ryan Suzuki retiring as well at age 38. Yeah, finishing up his career with Columbus. Spent a long time there after being drafted by the Canes and playing with the Hurricanes for a little while, but the majority of his success was with the Hurricanes, or was with the Blue Jackets. Mr. Workrate retiring. That might be a Hall of Fame worthy career as well as a defenseman. Very solid career, 928 points. I believe he spent his entire career with the Islanders, which he is, he grew up in Long Island, I'm pretty sure. I'm not creepy, he just talks about his time in Long Island a lot, so. On Long Island for the people. Harry and Cranky, another Twitter person, 790 points in 1376 games. A very solid career as well. Other than that, let's see if we had any other created players retiring. Jason Mariani retiring, 507 points in 1371 games. Tuukka Tuiaksula, former Hurricanes prospect, retiring. But other than that, it looks like that's it. I didn't see, what's his name? Brant Clark, excuse me. Goaltenders. Neha retiring with 500 wins under her belt. Matthew, a bit of a rougher career for Matthew. Oh, we'll check Neha. Neha spent time with Buffalo. Actually, the last season with Buffalo. Vancouver was her home for the entirety of her career, though. Matthew was a free agent during this year, I believe, but finished his career in Vancouver. 2 seasons with Tampa, 1 with Dallas, quite a few with Pittsburgh. Looks like that's where he was drafted. McShorsey the Jerk is our last goaltender prospect to retire this year, at least. Again, 3 seasons with Buffalo before finishing his career as a free agent. A season with Pittsburgh. 2 with Calgary, 1 with the Islanders. 2 with San Jose, 1 with the Rangers. Quite a few in the AHL. And yeah, just could never quite get it going at the NHL level as a starter, unfortunately. But that is it for our retired players, so congrats to Carolina Hurricanes, Big Sam, and Trevor Michaels on Hall of Fame careers. Trevor, I'm sorry we couldn't get you that Stanley Cup, but yeah, that is it. Um, we'll go do the draft, and then I'll see which players are still in the league. We will sim to our first pick. I forgot to trade up. Dang it. Whatever. The sim's almost over. I don't know why I'm caring too much. Grab this guy, Hunter Foy. Low top 6 forward. I like it. I like it. This is the 4th round now. Had a lot of scouts retiring this year. Hey, there's a low elite center. Ooh, that's not the guy. A low elite center at age 18 who sucks, but I can't beat low elite. That looks like about it, though, unfortunately. It's a little too early to be picking that guy, so let's just go with the surefire thing in this top 60. That's not good. That was, I mean, everybody's 38, so typically you start seeing players retire at 37, I believe, or at 35. That's like typically the threshold. So getting that low elite player while I can, because otherwise I'm gonna forget. So you'll be in the sim next time. Hopefully you'll get drafted to a team that isn't Buffalo. If there aren't too many more players available, like here, I may just end it early. Because, I'm tired, and I think it would just, people might not care as much about this. But I think most of our goalies have retired. I know Carter Metz has not retired. But let's check skaters and see. Kieran Lang is still in the game. I don't know. Do you want me to continue playing through it? Or since all the players that have watched this have retired, do you want me to just stop and then start a new one? So we still have a handful of players remaining. It's likely that next season will be the last season of this. But I want your opinion. I was looking through this, we really don't have that many creative players left. There's less than 10, I'd say. Or maybe there's about 10. It's hard to say. Start a new one, yeah. That will be tomorrow night's project. Because I don't have a whole lot of... I mean, it's already late. I want to give people the chance to reply and, be on Kane's Twitter franchise mode. But for now, that'll be it. That was season 2. That went by a lot quicker, I feel, than the last one. But either way, thank you for the support and all the fun. Season 3, I'm going to try making it even more fun. And yeah, till next time.